Ciao, miei incisori. Today we print Intaglio. Intaglio comes from the Italian word intagliare, engrave. First, I'm going to ditch the terrible accent. And we're going to get set up to print with a caster. You're going to need your masonite board, a piece of acetate, your good printing paper, some newsprint. You're going to need a couple binder clips, a ruler, a pencil, gloves, tarlatan, towels, a bath of water, your caster, and a spray bottle of water. You'll also need some black ink, some cards of mat board for spreading the ink, and baby wipes for cleaning up. First, begin by aligning one of your good sheets of printing paper with the edge of a sheet of newsprint. Mark the corners of the good sheet of paper. Move that paper to the side. Go ahead and put one of your sheets in to soak, maybe two. Ideally, you want to soak them for about 30 minutes. Now grab your ruler and connect the marks that you made on your newsprint so that you have an outline of your good sheet of paper. Grab your plate that you're going to print and place it within the outline of the paper, positioning it so that you have equal space on the right and left and top, and a little more space on the bottom, so that you have room for your signature and additioning information. Trace your copper plate onto the sheet of newsprint. Then set your masonite, your acetate, your newsprint template, and your additional sheet of newsprint aside. With masking tape, make 4 loops of tape and place them on the counter so that they're in opposing directions. You can then place your copper plate on top and press it down. The loops of tape will hold it in place while inking. Placing the tape in opposing directions prevents the plate from coming loose and sliding across the counter during wiping. Get some black ink onto your card of mat board and begin carding the ink onto the plate. Work it around the plate, carding it in from multiple directions so that you make certain that the ink is being pushed down into all of the marks that you've made on the plate. Next, grab your tarlatan. If it's fresh, you'll want to unfold it and scrunch it up and ball it around so that it loosens and softens a bit. Then ball the cheesecloth into a nice soft ball and begin working the ink around on the plate. At first, you won't use much pressure. It's more about distributing the ink. But as you wipe, you'll use more pressure to begin removing the ink from the plate. Next, tear off a piece of newsprint and using the flat of your hand, the fleshy parts of your hand, begin working the newsprint around on the plate to polish it up. You can flip it over back and forth. The ink will help it stick to your hand, and the ink will also attract the ink off the plate. If you like, you can come back with a slightly dirty part of your tarlatan and use retroussage to polish the plate up and pull the ink up out of the recesses in the plates so that it's ready to be grabbed by the paper. When you take your plate up, make certain that you remove all the pieces of tape off the back. If you were to leave a piece of tape on the back of the plate and run your plate through the press, the shape of the tape would be pushed into the plate and you would see it in your printed image. Clean the edges and the back of the plate with a baby wipe to remove any ink that remains on the edge or that may have gotten squished under the back of the plate during inking. Straighten up the counter and clean off any ink that may have gotten on it during wiping so that you don't unintentionally get it on the back of your printing boards. Remove your gloves so that your hands are clean and that you can handle paper without creating smudges. Grab your masonite board, your template, your acetate, and bring them over to your counter for printing. Remove your paper from the water, draining as much water off as you can and then blotting it between two towels. Align your newsprint template and your sheet of acetate with the edge of your piece of masonite. Then place your printing paper on top, face down, and align it with the marks you made on your newsprint template. Grab an additional sheet of newsprint to lay over top. And use your binder clips to secure all of these together. Make certain that you don't place your binder clips so close to your image that you aren't able to roll over the entirety of your plate. Lift the newsprint and your good paper. Spritz the template with water. And place your plate in the outline that you made of your plate on your newsprint template. Lay your sheet of printing paper over, followed by your newsprint. Grab your caster and when you've got a good grip, begin rolling back and forth across your image. As you roll, slowly walk the caster to the right and left so that you migrate across the entirety of your plate. When you reach the end of your plate, change directions. Roll the plate from every direction possible. When you feel like you've covered the plate thoroughly, you can lift the newsprint and then lift your paper, holding it down against the plate so it doesn't shift, to assess whether the image is fully printed or not. I feel like my image printed well, but my plate shifted while I was printing. With an acrylic plate, the water holds it in place pretty well. But with a copper plate, because the plate might be slightly arced, using a piece of double-sided adhesive under the plate will help hold it in place better. I've inked my plate again and now I'm printing it with a traditional etching press. We'll compare it to our caster print to see how successfully we think the caster print worked. Ah, bellissimo! Va bene, mi amore.